Great. So we keep it short and sweet. So just Paul, I know Jerome and yourself asked me to do a little brief 10-minute on our firm and maybe just really touch briefly on what we're seeing uh, with Brexit at the moment. And obviously we're 3 weeks in and what's happening, I suppose, from an Irish perspective and what we're seeing with some of our clients. So obviously we're J.Meade and Company. We're based in Dublin in Ireland. And location-wise, we're in a town called Raheny, which would be about 10 minutes from the city centre, and very close proximity to the airport, about 10 minutes to the airport. We're a full service firm. We do a range of services from audit and insurance. We do corporate finance, tax structuring and advisory, tax compliance, company secretarial, and then we do payroll and bookkeeping. We're quite strong corporate finance and tax advisory practices. We do a lot of work on M&A transactions, valuations, capital and debt raises. And then we do a lot of structuring with clients, both domestic and international clients. Obviously, Ireland being, an FDI hub and quite well known internationally for a lot of international businesses doing business through Ireland or indeed in Ireland. A lot of international businesses locating to Ireland for their skill sets. So we do a lot of work with our international clients. And then obviously we provide the full suite of compliance services for those clients too, from their audits to their company secretarial and their tax compliance side of things. The firm was established in 1988 by J.Meade. He's the individual there in the center picture. And we have a team, it's a niche practice, so we have a team of 14. And in that team, we've got 5 accountants, of which 2 are chartered tax advisors. We have an accounts technician, we have 5 trainees, we have a qualified banker, it's Dominic, he's also in the picture there, and then we have 2 support team members. And one of my colleagues there, Cleena Crow, who's a tax manager, she's on the call today. It's her first time joining one of the EA International calls, so she's with us today. And then I might just jump into a little bit on the Brexit side of things, because obviously we all know the UK voted to leave the EU, and we went through a transition period, which finished on the 31st of December 2020, and now we're into 3 weeks of what it looks like post Brexit, and it's thrown up some interesting topics because everybody was aware that obviously the crucial part was, could we reach a deal, and certainly a deal around customs and tariffs, and obviously VAT being a key point. And I suppose the big issues that have come up we've seen for clients is the ability now to seamlessly trade with the UK, which is Ireland's biggest trading partner, and we export a huge amount of products to the UK, in particular the agricultural sector. And clients are experiencing huge difficulties at the red tape around customs, and obviously getting their product into the UK. At the same time, the VAT implications where in the past reverse charge VAT would be seamless on imports and exports of goods to and from another EU country, and now finding it that actually there's issues at the border where there's import VAT to be paid and cash flow issues that are coming out of it. And I think it's a problem that's going to continue on for the foreseeable, and it's certainly going to change people's perceptions on their supply chains, because we're certainly seeing now with clients whereby they were competitive in the UK in the past, where now UK customers are now saying it's easier to do business with UK suppliers or Northern Ireland suppliers, and not necessarily Irish suppliers. We're now seeing that Northern Ireland is a little bit kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because as you may be aware, there was a special deal done with Northern Ireland, and in effect, Northern Ireland has the best of both worlds, because it's got 1 foot in the EU from a perspective of trade and tariffs and VAT, and 1 foot in the UK. And we're actually seeing a lot of international companies who are, I suppose, trading both with the UK and Ireland, actually now considering Northern Ireland as a hub to locate their business. In particular, that's where they're going to land their goods. And we're seeing a bit of an influx of people looking up there. as the location of choice for locating their new operations. So it's kind of, I think Northern Ireland has an opportunity here over the next number of years to really, I suppose maybe benefit somewhat from FDI as a result of the issues arising on tariffs and VAT. If I spin down to Ireland, I might just jump this to, the EU access to Ireland, and we've always, I suppose, been out there I suppose in the world as a good country to do foreign direct investment through, and I suppose access Europe. And in particular, I suppose our advantages were always seen to be that we were English speaking, highly educated workforce. We obviously had a commitment to remain part of the EU. And we shared many things like the UK in terms of a common law jurisdiction, with UK case law having persuasive influence in our courts. We have an attractive tax regime, a 12.5% corporate tax rate on trading profits, and very favourable domestic withholding tax regime, where we've domestic exemptions for outbound dividends, interest payments, and also most royalty payments have no withholding taxes on them either. We also have a participation exemption where holdcos can dispose of international trade codes with no capital gains tax. And I suppose in the research and development space, we have a quite attractive research and development tax regime where we provide credits that are refundable in cash of up to 25% of qualifying R&D expenditure, as well as a special 6.25% tax rate on income derived from certain patents. We have a very wide double taxation treaty network. I think at the last time of checking, about 74 DTAs, and a few little quirks where we allow companies prepare their financial statements in any currency and also in US GAAP. Obviously, we have a lot of FDI from the US, so it makes sense to let those subsidiaries prepare their accounts in US GAAP and file their accounts in the Irish Companies Office in US GAAP. It's a little bit about Ireland. And I suppose, we're primed hopefully to benefit a little bit from FDI, where international companies are looking at traditionally the UK, where they were trying to have access to EU. And obviously we share a lot of attributes with the UK, and hopefully we'll be able to benefit from that going forward. I suppose why do clients like us? Just a very brief slide. We believe we have reactive staff, very high quality of work, attention to detail. We think we're innovative, problem solving, and obviously, we have the benefits such as being a member of EAI International to work with our associates to develop and implement international solutions for their needs. And then just some contact details. Obviously, there's John, and that's myself. So that's it all in a nutshell.
Thanks a lot, Adam. Really good presentation, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of questions for you in the breakout session. So I think next it's Dimitri, who's going to present his firm.
Let's go for it. Thanks, Adam, for the presentation. So let me share my screen. Just one moment. Let me know when you're able to see it.
Yep.
Good. So, okay. So before kicking off, just want to wish everybody a happy new year for those of you that didn't have a chance to talk to, and hoping that this one will be a bit better than 2020, and hoping the situation will improve. So we're Saint-Germain Audit. We're a firm based in Paris. Some of you may know. The firm was founded in 1986 by my father, Frédéric, who might be on the call. We have 15 employees, including one director and 4 senior managers. We do mostly audit and accounting services, and we've been with EAI International since 2017. Jérôme, I think that's right, but I wasn't too sure about it. So our revenues are a bit above 2 million euros. Half of it come from our audit practice, and the rest is divided between bookkeeping, financial statements preparation, tax returns, tax advice, and also external CFO services, which is led by Eva, who's on the call as well. We speak a lot of languages. Our team is very diverse, so we have more than 10 languages. So that's a fun fact. Let me go to the next slide. Our team is pretty stable. I'm the newest recruit, so I've been with the firm for 4 months, but overall there's very low staff turnover. We have a few areas of expertise. So we have clients who file in IFRS, a few US GAAP clients, and we're familiar with all the international norms, accounting and auditing standards. And I'm pretty familiar with the SOX and PCAOB environment because I've been with EY for 5 years working on US listed clients mostly. In France, we have a lot of relationships with different professionals, including tax lawyers, lawyers that are specialized in labor law, which can be quite handy in France, as can get quite complicated. And we do work on joint audits with bigger firms, with some of the big four and BDO. So we have connections with them as well. So just wanted to say that we're also really motivated to work with some of you if opportunities come along. And that would be a great opportunity for us to develop our international clientele. So next, I've listed all the services that we offer, or most of them. I presume they're quite similar to what you guys have to offer in your respective countries. So mostly audit services. We do statutory audits, group audits, and joint audits. And in terms of accounting, bookkeeping, financial statements preparation, and so on. And also in France, we advise our clients when they want to start a company on the form of ownership that they want to do, and it has a lot of tax and legal implications, so that's quite important as well. And so wanted to talk to you about a new law that was adopted in France in 2019, which can be considered as a revolution, kind of. There's one bad news. It's that this law raised the thresholds for the statutory audit requirements. So it's a real loss of business for auditors. They went from 1 million total assets, 2 million total revenues, and 20 employees to the thresholds that you have on the screen, which is 4 million total assets, 8 million total revenues, and 50 employees. So if at the period end, you have 2 out of the 3 thresholds, then you need to have an auditor. And also this PACT law, there was a modification of the Code of Ethics, and all the prohibited services are now authorized. So we can, for instance, file the tax returns for our clients that we audit. So all the new missions can be divided in four different categories. You have financial data, the compliance with legal, regulatory requirements, compliance and efficiency of processes, and all the digital stuff. So this is really a new thing, because we were used, to the only auditors, and now we can really provide our clients with all sorts of different missions. And of course, to provide those missions, the risks need to be analyzed, and you still need to be independent from your client, and there needs to be no conflict of interest whatsoever. So next, you have some of the clients we've worked with, and we're still working with most of the clients that are there. So you know, we have we're a fairly small company, like Adam's company, I guess. We're 18 people in total, but it allows us to have a bit of both world. We have very small clients and also quite large companies, but most of our clients are mid-sized businesses, both in audit or in accounting. But we can react pretty fast to all sorts of situations as we're a small team. So some other clients of us, and then so our team, the most experienced team members, they include 3 partners who are all chartered accountants, including Frédéric, Fanny, or Marie-Stéphanie, and Virginie, who might be on the call as well. And then Eva, who's on the call as well. Some of you know her, and Guillaume and Cédric, who are both senior managers, and myself. That's not the complete list, but probably the people that you'll talk to if we work together. And myself, and I'm a certified public accountant in the US and the state of New York. Eva, I don't know if you want to say a few words to our friends.
Sure. Well, first I will use this opportunity, and I think that I have a critical mass of those with whom we collaborate on my very special assignment, very recent, creating 5 subsidiaries for across Europe for a French company, and I was very pleased to call for help the Audit members. So thank you very much for this efficient collaboration. Now I just switch off that assignment. In theory, it works smoothly. So Kay, Adriano, Mark, and the Spanish people are not there. Thank you very much for your help. And if you have issues with your client now, don't hesitate to call me. I have a very good relationship with the managing director of all that stuff. So in case of issues. And of course, I will call you again and again and again if I have something similar. And especially you people, thank you for sending me tricky stuff between Ireland, Northern Ireland. So now I've become a kind of expert in the new post-Brexit VAT between Northern Ireland and the European Union. So thank you for sending me this, and I'm very pleased. This is the very tangible collaboration, and it's great to be able to rely on you and be able to say to my client, those people you can trust them, sign on the button. It's excellent. I really love this action, and it was extremely well done. So thank you. If you need my help, you just call me. Now you know then I can do something.
Well, you heard Eva, so thank you all. So if you're ever wandering around the streets of Paris, feel free to stop by our office. You have the address, our contacts there, and it'll be a pleasure to have you for a lunch or a drink in our office. So
Yeah,
I, for one, would love to be roaming around the streets of Paris.
Well, soon, hopefully.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're eager to go there.
Definitely.
Okay,
Thanks,
well,
Dimitri.
well, that was it.
Thanks, Dimitri. Very good. Very interesting. Very interesting. And some big names I noticed on your client list there. And I think it's great that you speak so many languages as well. I think that's a real benefit, particularly when you're in an international association like this. And what we normally do now is we normally have some breakout rooms. I don't know if they've been pre-selected. This is where Jerome normally takes over and puts us into a room each, and then we can talk about something topical or something untopical, depends what you want to talk about. So I don't know, Jerome, you're hitting up the rooms? Okay, so you'll probably get something that's going to say down the bottom, click here to enter your room. And when the magic happens, you press the button. And you can unmute yourselves now as well. It's now allowed to speak to each other.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your presentations. It was very interesting.
Thanks.
Dimitri, do you think there's going to be a lot of mergers in your audit and accounting profession, because you've got these changes where you can do extra services that you're not used to doing, and you've got some services missing out?
Well, do you mean mergers for our clients or?
No, for the professional firms.
Well, there might be a few, yes. I'm not sure yet, but we might see some evolution in the